Hello everybody and welcome back to the post-reaction with New York Talk. Lads, mixed emotions after that one. Yeah, we get a point against top of the league who are unbeaten, but at the same time, it's not that much of an improvement on Millwall, is it really?
Yeah, I think it is. Given how dire that Millwall performance was, I think it's streets in front. However, it's not great. It's not a great performance at all. And given the way that we played against Norwich and Leicester, today were a bang average performance, I think. And it was compounded by losing Cam Humphreys at half time, which is a massive worry. Which gave us nothing in the second half. We had nothing at all in the second half other than just to defend. So with that in mind, then I think the performance and the result overall is a good result given the circumstances. That's my view. I don't know what you think.
It's better. It's certainly better. But could you imagine if it had been worse than Millwall? I'm not sure that's possible.
Grief.
So
Precisely.
So it certainly was an improvement. We could be sitting here saying we should have won 1-0 because I think it's a foul on Victor for the goal.
Yeah.
We'd have to watch that back. Look, they were top at league. They'd won 6 games in a row. I mean, I'm sure we'll come on to how sort of unimpressive they were for the most part, but they are an incredibly effective team. What they do, they are very, very good at it. Move the ball from back to front very quickly, which they did in the first half particularly. When we started sitting in, obviously that took away that option for them because of the Cam Humphreys coming off. So I think it's definitely a good point. I think anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's a good point, but it's a circumstantial good point. I think if we'd have played like that and we had all the cards in the deck, we'd be going, that's quite a poor point to have against Preston. But on paper, Preston were top at league, effectively scoring for fun. I think they had the highest conversion rate in the league.
So clinical, aren't they?
Yeah, just in front of us, by the way. Yeah,
It's just we don't shoot.
Yeah. But we'll look at Jordan Hugo's goal first. Start where the iron's the hottest. What a finish!
Yeah.
What a finish! He scores against his former club again. So no pressure against Cardiff, Hugo. But yeah, it's a cracking finish, isn't it? And he completely shuts the entire Preston end, isn't he?
To quote Thanos, he is inevitable. Whenever he plays against a former club, he's going to score. So Cardiff next week, Cardiff fans sort of getting any prepping. Jordan Hugo's going to score next week.
You can clip that if you want as well.
Bristol City and Southampton after that, you're safe.
He scored against Bristol City though, hasn't he?
He might have done. He did.
He scored that penalty, didn't he?
I thought Jordan Hugo had a much better performance. I think he looked better I actually thought he looked better in the second half when he had a strike partner. I thought he was much more effective. It was also kicking off. I don't know if you guys saw at the end. It was kicking off in the tunnel with Jordan Hugo and I think Liam Lindsay, who had that ding dong we all game, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
So it was kicking off in the tunnel. Look, I thought Jordan Hugo, he comes in for a lot of stick. Some of it fair, some of it really unfair. And I thought Jordan Hugo, he wasn't man of the match like the sponsors picked, but I thought Jordan Hugo had his best game in a little while. And that goal was just an absolute stunner. If Dexter had scored that goal against Norwich, that's up for goal at season.
He's certainly Jordan Hugo's pick of the bunch whilst he's been at us.
Easy, yeah. He had a good game, I thought.
Hopefully Hugo didn't pull a Guy Branston in the tunnel. Anyway, trying to beat down the away team's dressing room. But yeah, Mick, your thoughts on Hugo and his goal as well, please.
Yeah, it's a fantastic goal, isn't it? An absolute screamer. Beautiful goal, really well taken. All his own work as well. So yeah, can't argue with that. And the way he dealt with their number 14, what's his name, Liam Lindsay? Oh mate, I mean it's the thing of absolute beauty. It's a thing of beauty. The lad was beside himself when he was there 14. He just could not control himself, and Jordan's in his ear, winding him up. So I have no issue with that. That's brilliant. However, he went down it quite easily a couple of times, didn't he? Which doesn't help him because when he does get fouled, he doesn't get them.
Yeah.
And I think the referee made a point of that. And to be fair, I'm not one for praising referees, but I think the referee was right. Jordan Hugo went down holding his head, and the referee stopped the game straight away.
Yeah. And
he was right to do that because he's trying to do to the referee what he was doing to their number 14, and the referee weren't having any of it. So that side of his game for me needs to be dealt with. But good game, good goal.
I agree. Just touching on the referee as well, it was the same referee that had us for Reading last season when we beat them 4-0. And we praised him quite heavily for that game. And I would like to say I think the referee was more or less as straight as an arrow with his decision. I don't think he was too biased towards one team. I think he was quite consistent with either team. But it was the linesman I had the issue with, if I'm being honest. They were on both sides, to be fair. Like the lino on the side nearest me in the north stand, I don't think he knows the offside rule, if I'm being completely honest.
He missed a punch on Hugo in first half, he missed a foul on Victor for goal, and what else did he miss? He missed another one.
There was an offside as well. It was quite, like the entire west stand called offside, and he didn't say a peep to it. And then the linesman down the opposite end, I don't think he knows the handball rule, if I'm being honest. So well done to Sam Allison, I think his name is. Well done to you. You've put in a stellar performance. Have a words with linesman, and I'd give you probably a solid 8 out of 10 for that performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then just to finish off, really, the goal we've conceded. We've touched on it briefly, with it being a foul on Victor. I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, I am.
If I'm being
I
honest.
want to watch it back again, but it looked like a clear foul, and I think a good indication of that was the fact that the first corner they got in the second half, the linesman gave a foul on Victor for doing exactly the same thing. Just one more thing on the referee, a great call on the penalty shout at the end of the game there.
Yes, very
that
good.
Number 23.
A lot of pressure under.
That number 23, let me just tell you a little story in the pre-match warm-up.
It was good.
In the pre-match warm-up, dove and went around clutching his leg when one of his own players tackled him in the warm-up. I mean, it was embarrassing. He's laid on the floor, slapping the floor when one of his own players has tackled him in the warm-up. It was just embarrassing. So to see that not given was very, very sweet, and I wish I'd been close to the front to explain to 23 how I felt about it. Unfortunately, I don't think he would have heard me, but yeah.
That's Preston fans, is your number 23 part of the Deepdale Amateur Dramatics Society? That's the question.
What a clown.
But no, I'm dead behind the goal, and it was a clear foul on Victor. I can't remember which player it was, but he's quite clearly blocked him off, and he cannot get to the ball. It's an infringement, to say the least. All right, fair enough. The man who gets his head on the ball isn't marked. It's a free header without having to jump, but I would say it's a foul on Victor as well. And then the second half was just... wasn't it really? But that's down to Humphrey's injury and having to change formation, isn't it? Any more thoughts on the game, lads?
We can't finish without talking about Victor.
No, that's
because
very true.
He was stunning. That's one of his best performances on the show. It's not the best because the Stoke game was the best, obviously. But there was that
last season, by the way, not the 4-1.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. But there was a save in the first half of the back post, which is a point-blank stunning save. There's the double save in the second half.
Yeah, that's very true.
He did his shoulder by coming for loads of crosses. We forget about Victor a lot because that's just what he does.
Yeah.
But I think it really needs mentioning because Victor was the reason we got a point today. Not on it. He was helped, but Victor was just sensational. He was by a country mile man of the match.
Yeah, I agree. I think Victor's man at match instead of Hugo, even though he scored. Yeah. So I think the moral of the story is Victor's 71 rated on FIFA is, well, not FIFA, it's EAFC now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's far too low. It needs to be at least a 76. And is that everything, lads? Yeah.
Like the video, put a big thumb up on it.
Yeah, there we go. And if you want to donate to us on Super Chat when we're live, please do. It all helps and all goes in the pot for us. Thank you very much.
To get another microphone.
Yeah, exactly. We're one short.
Or at least to put a new cover.
Yeah. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you again for the review show on Sunday, and then it's the preview show for Cardiff on Thursday.
Check the weather. Check the weather, guys.
Yes, make sure it's not raining. If it is, bring your umbrella. Cheers, guys.